This is Dr. Jaya Parekh, the principal of Ramratna International School, extending warm welcome and gratitude to everyone who is here today, about to listen to another inspiring Aadharshila. It is a matter of great pride to have this national awardee with us today, and all the more a matter of great joy for me personally, because she is my childhood friend. We are school buddies. I'm also grateful to all my schoolmates who have joined us today. It feels totally surreal after so many years to be seeing them, and especially hosting my friend. I remember the kind of talks we used to have, all childish things that we have done during that time, and after that meeting, all these years, all grown up, totally inspired by her, have been in her journey. So today it's truly a pleasure, a privilege, an honor, and on top of everything, tremendous joy and love for our guest today that I feel at this moment. Let me formally introduce you all to today's speaker. Today's speaker, whom I have known as Ravneet Naran from the times of the school, is now known as Ms. Puja Subramaniam. She's a national awardee, is the MD of Bolster Engineering Solution Private Limited. Friends, you would agree with the statement that life is not lived by body but mind. True personality emerges when a person is tested under severely odd circumstances, and this statement totally holds true for Puja. She has fought and won her right to live an accomplished life. Born with a rare progressive neuromuscular disorder called Charcot-Marie-Tooth, Puja never learned how to give up. Her legs, hands, and voice are severely affected, and due to the progressive nature of her disease, she faces a new challenge with her mobility and independency every day. Friends, believe me, we have seen her practically going through it every single day. And I'm a witness that this never dampened her spirits. But with the armor of her mental strength, she never lets anything keep her away from achieving newer heights of success. On completing her education, she chose to be self-employed and started her organization, Efficacy Institute for English Language Training, Personality Development, and Special Training Programs. She dedicated this institute exclusively to educating women and children, as she firmly believes that it is only through education that a woman can become self-reliant and strong enough to face the challenges of life. In 2003, she got married and started a new life with the dual responsibility of a wife and a professional. Despite the severity and threats of her disability, she gave birth to her son in 2005. After that, she could no longer walk. It was a low phase for her, but with her inborn attitude of a fighter, she regained her vibrant spirit and accepted the new challenges with courage. Bringing up a child was a Herculean task for her weak body, but she did it with full vigor and optimism. Realizing the power of inspirational writing, she signed up for the journalism course at Symbiosis Pune and started writing motivational articles for women and persons with disabilities. Her work has been published in the Journal of CMT Organization of the UK. In 2007, along with her husband, she founded her company, Bolster Engineering Solutions Private Limited. She established it as an organization which offers the most versatile engineering solutions and training services across the nation. In 2015, she founded a non-profit organization named Wings Society for the welfare of women and persons with disability. For the first time in India, she introduced wheelchair Tai Chi and martial arts for persons with disability. She's a motivational speaker who has counseled and helped many to overcome the physical and mental barriers of life. I can feel goosebumps all over. And I know her personally, so I can tell you there is much more beyond this description in words. I have seen her how gracefully, very confusing stages she has gone through, even as a child. When I just think of that phase, when I try to even put myself in this situation, I think the way you have handled everything, Ravneet, I think It's not easy for everybody to do that. And the credit goes to her mindset. It's all in the mind, as she believes in. And as she has proved, without taking any more time, let us invite this brilliant, extraordinary personality to take over. We look forward to listening to you and taking a lot away from you today. Over to you, Puja.
Hello and namaste to all Aadharshilas present here and Dr. Jaya. Jaya and my friend, thank you for inviting me here. And a big hello and thanks to all my friends from Mansoor, from Dashpur, who took out time to join. I have been like giving talks and all, but this particular place is very special today because this is from where I started and this is where I'm back. So life comes to a full circle, having my friends with me again, and it is all due to you guys, the support and the positivity, whatever I hold today. You have a major big part to play. So a big thank you. Finally, I got a chance to say a big thank you. And as the topic given to me was the art of finding alternatives, I'll start sharing a few slides here. So when Jaya asked me that what topic would you like to take, I could not think about anything but the key of my existence. How I existed and came this far is just because of the art of finding alternatives. We have all heard that when God closes one door, He opens another. But are we willing to look at that door? Do we have the skill and do we have the mindset to look at that door? And that is the art of finding alternatives. So I just thought that, why not take up a topic which we can all connect to? The objective here, when we say alternatives, now alternative cannot be considered as escapism, like an alternative to hard work, alternative to honesty. There is no alternative for the basics. Yes, we are not, when we say alternative, trying to establish the fact that it is not about giving up on goal. Finding alternative doesn't mean you have to compromise on your desires. You have to compromise on your goals. Objective is to take a detour, take a longer way, take a different way, reach where you want to be. Don't give up on your dreams, but don't get stuck just because one road did not lead you to that. So that is the objective of the entire session. Hope we'll be able to achieve that. When we talk about dead ends in life, it's not that nobody has faced a dead end. Let's take a very simple thing. There are so many people here, and many of you must be into cooking, right? You are a cook. So when sometimes you want to eat a particular vegetable, कि आज तो आलू गोभी खानी है.
Ravi, just sorry to interrupt you. I think the slides are not moving. Are you transitioning the slides? Because there is no transition that I can see.
Which slide are you seeing right now?
Yeah, now I see the second slide.
Okay, so
I think third. What are the dead ends? Now I see that.
Okay, so it is the slide. It's not.
I can see now.
Okay, I'll keep it in this mode only.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Right. So whenever we want to eat something at home, आज तो चलो ये सब्जी खानी है, वो नहीं है, तो हम क्या करते हैं? Don't we eat food that day? We eat, right? But what do we then do then? We prepare something else. Ultimately, what is the objective? That we should have a relishing meal. And to do that, if we don't have a particular thing, we take another option. So it's not that we don't know how to find options. We all go for options every day. Like if you don't get a cab, what do you do? What do? You just take some other mode of travel. So it's not that we don't know what are alternatives and how to choose them. On our day-to-day basis life, we are able to find options. But when some major, areas of life are concerned, for example, education, or if it is a job, if it is some emotional state relationships, at that point we are stuck. We come to a dead end. We are not able to find the alternatives. Now, what are these dead ends? Can you see it here? Is the slide visible? No?
Yes, we can see it. Academic failures, professional failures.
So the dead ends basically where our mind crashes and we feel, "Arey, ab to kya hoga?" What to do? It comes like a major setback. So it usually is the academic failure. You are not able to come up to the mark. Second is there can be professional failure. You're expecting some promotions, you're expecting a certain job, you want to do a certain business, you're not able to achieve it. There is a dead end. You feel life has ended and the world is closed on you. Then there are relationship failures, expectation failures. If you feel somebody is expecting something from you and you are not able to do it, then you just feel it's the end of the world. Or there are some unforeseen failures, like some mishaps where you lose your physical capacity to be independent, or you have a major loss just because of some unforeseen failures. At these certain points, we come to a place where we feel stuck, right? We feel cornered. We are going to learn how to handle these dead ends. Actually, life has no dead end. Life only has a circle. So it cannot have a dead end. It will always go in circle. You just have to have the attitude of keep going, keep moving. Let me tell you a story. So this is a story of a small girl. She was studying in third standard, third or fourth. And she had a disability. And she had a physical disability, but her mind could not accept it. So she didn't know that is different because she's a child. She has no, she doesn't have the ability to question herself or to see the differences or to argue on that. So she feels she is just a girl, but she is a disabled girl. So other people see her as a disabled girl with challenges. Now, during her school annual function, she desperately wants to be on stage because she has a tendency to learn anything and she's curious kinds. So she gets after her teacher, she gets after her mother. She just says, "I want to be on the stage." And very politely, her teacher just tries to, how we just divert the kids by telling them something or the other. But she was stubborn. She didn't want to give up. She said, "No, I want to be on the stage." So she goes to her mother. Her mother comes with her to school. They meet the principal, and then the girl is just like, "I want to be on the stage." So finally, they decided what to do. They thought that, okay, let's find a way. When they thought hard, first time they gave up. Second time, when she insisted, they gave up. Third time, they decided to take a chance, think hard. And they came with an idea. And this was the idea. Can you see the screen, Jeff? Is it visible?
No, it hasn't changed. I think you need to, yeah, now I can see.
So this is 1985, and this girl was made Saraswati. In place of putting up a picture of Saraswati that we usually do, in that prayer, she was made as Saraswati because all she had to do was nothing, just sit. And that was the best thing she could do. Now this thing, actually it was a small act, but it went a long way. This girl believed from that day onwards that she doesn't have to give up on her dreams. That day, that girl got a big lesson for her life that kept her moving. She understood that find a way or fade away. It's not make a way, find a way or fade away, because if you are giving up on your dreams, on your goals, if you're compromising without trying hard enough, then you're going to fade away. And she was not ready to fade away. And from that stage, finally, by the blessing of God, by the help of her friends, family, there was a day when she came to this stage one day. And the journey from that stage to this stage and today here is nothing but a journey of faith, a journey of consistent efforts, a journey of never giving up attitude, and also a journey of discovering alternatives, finding alternatives. And how does it happen? The impact of that day was that with determination and creative thinking, obstacles can be turned into opportunities. If that day the teacher had not taken the effort, if that day the girl had settled down, then this would have not happened. So there are no dead ends in life, only dead end thinking. So if you have a dead end thinking, then only there is a dead end in life. When I say this, a very common question in our mind comes, everything is easier said than done, isn't it? Except for talking, that's about the same. बोलना तो बहुत ही आसान है ना, जब situation आती है तो how can we handle? Then there is no solution. There are certain situations when actually there is no alternative. So it is easy to say, then done. Now what is the obstacle? What is stopping us? How to find the alternatives? We are not able to find the alternatives, many of us. The reason? There can be several reasons. It can be personal reason. There can be social reasons. There can be environmental reasons. When we come to personal reasons, the first thing, we can change ourselves, not the world. So this is where we need to begin. There are plenty of difficult obstacles in your path. At least don't allow yourself to become an obstacle. No? At least don't allow yourself to become a barrier in achieving your dream. So when we say personal barrier, what can it be? You are afraid to take a new path. You are afraid to, be different. You are afraid to hear the criticism, or आइडियाज ही नहीं आते, तब क्या करें? हमारे माइंड में तो आया ही नहीं, सोचा ही नहीं हमने. That is a personal barrier. Then if you say social, yes, moving away from the norms. I'll give you one example here. I basically am a Sikh. I'm a Punjabi girl. So I'm a Sikh person. And you know that in Sikh, we have a culture of giving respect to our kesh. We don't cut our hair. And it's a very big religious custom we follow. And I remember my mother was once bedridden and she underwent a major surgery. And that was a time when I had to go to school and I didn't know how to pleat my hair. And I couldn't have I didn't have the strength to hold a comb and pleat and go to school on my own. So there had been days when I just combed superficially and went in a messy state. I went to school in a way that my own self-esteem went down. And I felt so bad because all other students were neatly dressed, tidied up, all well groomed. And I was looking all messed up. So I came home and I called my mother and I started crying bitterly. Why I have to do like this? Why I have to keep the hair? Why can't I, help myself? Why do I have to suffer? So that day she, took a bold step. She talked to my grandfather, convinced the family, and said, religion is to preach how a person should become better. It's not to obstruct or, destroy the self-esteem of a person. So that was a very advanced step, a very progressive step the family took, and they gave me the permission to cut my hair. And that day made one more impact on me, that how to come over the social barriers. We need to learn that if you want to find alternatives. Next are environmental barriers. Sometimes we are not able to find alternatives because we are not in that environment. The world around us is not that supportive that we cannot think of alternatives. So when we understand the reason of our inability to find alternatives, when we attain this knowledge, knowledge is power. So as soon as you know what is stopping you from finding alternatives, you get a better chance to win this battle. Now, apart from those barriers, why do we miss spotting alternatives? There are some very basic key points. First, panic. Panic fog blurs the vision. Now, whenever we are into a situation where we hear a no, what happens? Panic buzzer. Oh my God, ab kya kare? I was expecting 90% in 12th. Panic buzzer. I got only 70. Now what? What is next? So I panic so much that we can't think of the alternatives. So the first thing is panic. That is the barrier of your ability to find alternatives. Second is your lack of knowledge and exposure. Now, when your world is just a small circle, you don't know what is going on around. You don't meet people. You don't see how different people lead life in different ways. You don't see what is going around. You don't see the diversity that exists in this world. Then you are not able to have the adaptability. You are not able to find alternatives because you don't have that skill. So, lack of knowledge, experience, and exposure is the next barrier. So, spot it if you have it. The next one is absence of right attitude. When we say right attitude, what is that? We all have heard about positive attitude. Always think positive, mind your thoughts. Whatever you think, manifest. These things are now common terms. But the bigger question is how to attain it. Now, the right attitude is just a will to get better with every passing day. So when you have the ability to spot your limitations, when you know what your problem is, and then you have the readiness to work on the problem, then you get the right attitude. So if you have this attitude, chalo, brave, jo hoga dekhenge. One more example I'll give you. As Jaya told that, I'm born with a progressive disorder. My friends here, they've all seen me. Initially, I used to walk, I used to paint, and not severely affected. So life changed with time because it is progressive disease. Every day it's a new story. One day you're walking, second day you fall, third day you're not able to stand. One day you are painting, second day you are not even able to hold a spoon. And one day you are singing. I was a passionate singer. So I trained myself in classical and participated in several competitions. And then my voice got affected. So I know that every new day is going to bring a new problem, a new challenge. So at a very early age, I developed an attitude that bring it on life. I will walk ahead of you because I know whatever I have today will be lost tomorrow. So I will make the best use of whatever is there with me today. And this is applicable to everyone. It's not just because I have this disability. We have a limited lifespan, right? We have a limited lifespan, and if we want to live a good life, we have to live it like it's the last day. This is the last day. So when you have the right attitude, everything is sorted. One thing I really want to stress here, the last point, that is a major barrier, that is victim mentality. So I remember one day when I was young, we are from a small town, Mansoor, and in that small town, people are closely connected and they share each other's problems. So in my family, my relatives would come, and it is like some 30, 35 odd years back. That was a time when we did not hear about disability, we did not hear about help, accessibility, we did not hear about any special consideration that we have today. So the world was in darkness. People were not able to accept a girl child also. So accepting a girl child with disability is impossible. It's beyond thinking. So relatives would come and they would talk to my parents. My mother one day was serving tea to a relative and she started suddenly crying because I was sitting next. So she looked at me and she just looked at me and she started crying bitterly. Oh my God, अब क्या किया था तुमने कर्मा, कैसे ये हो गया, how are you going to live your life, अब इसका क्या होगा, अभी क्या करेगी. So she started crying and I was just flabbergasted because I couldn't understand what is going on. So my mother quickly came and took me away from there and she really scolded the relative and said, you dare not cry in front of my daughter and you dare not tell that what is going to happen to her. This is the victim mentality. Like when you curse yourself, when you criticize yourself, when you criticize the situation, ये मेरे साथ क्यों हो गया? Why me? सबके साथ तो कुछ नहीं है, क्यों मेरे साथ हुआ? Why only my son is not studying? Why only my daughter is this? Why only I am not getting promotion? Why me? Why me? This is called victim mentality. So my mother that day told the relative that never try in front of my daughter. I'm there for her and I'll make sure that she gets the power of knowledge, she gets the education and she becomes so independent, both mentally, physically, educationally and financially, that one day you will all be proud of her. And I thank God for such family, for my upbringing, for my friends, those who have been the support system. So,
And Ravneet, I want you to know we are so proud of you.
So you have played a major part, all the friends here.
Yes, Kapil, hi. Joined a little late.
Okay.
You're mute, on mute. Hi Kapil, कैसे हो?
Hi Kapil. I cannot see anyone because the slide share over here.
Okay, Kapil is there. Vishal, Pallavi. Then I think Alok joined for some time. We have Virakta.
Acha, I have to mention one point here.
No, I have joined pass back.
Acha.
But my video was off.
Everybody from Kashmir, आप लोगों के लिए big round of applause. I really want a big clap for all of you because अभी जब हम awareness की बात करते हैं, when I go for motivational speeches, when I train students, teachers and all, तो एक major issue जो दिखता है that is of bullying, lack of acceptability from friends, and the gift that you all have given me, the gift of your friendship, the gift of your acceptance. एक इंसिडेंस मुझे याद नहीं है अपने बचपन से जब किसी फ्रेंड ने मुझे कहा हो कि यार what is this with you, why are you like this, या कोई मुझ पे हंसा हो. Not even once. So I have been so fortunate to have gems like you at that time, like 35-40 years back when we were kids, kindergarten, early schooling. That day you all were so progressive, so supportive. Now I have to take training sessions, but you all did not need any training. So thank you guys. And it's really due to all of you, I got the strength.
Ravneet, I think you were the strength of our whole class. You carried that aura with you.
Thank you. So this
Alok is there, but I would like you to be on the camera, please. Alok. Hi, Alok. Can you hear me, Alok?
I am in driving a car. Actually, I was on move. That's why I'm not able to. Okay.
Thanks for joining,
Good
Alok.
afternoon to all of you.
Hi. Good afternoon. इतना फॉर्मल होने की जरूरत नहीं है. I think after the talk ends, अभी दशपुर वाले सब कंटिन्यू करेंगे इधर.
we'll have a reunion only.
Definitely.
Yes, let's have a virtual reunion. Thanks to Ravneet.
Thanks to Jaya for having us all together.
You know, I wanted to share. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
That's fine.
But we hardly stayed with a distance of about maybe 300 meters between our homes, right? Ravneet was so full of life though she would face a lot of difficulty in climbing up that ramp which leads to my house. Do you remember that? The entrance.
And the
And still she would want to come there, though there was a lot of difficulty in reaching, but the zest for life that she had, the zest for experiencing new things, you might not remember, but हमने ना रवनीत के कहने पर उसने और मैंने गणपति रखे थे घर के बाहर, और you remember that?
I
Oh
remember.
my God! I think we were hardly in fifth or sixth, तो फिर हम दोनों डिसाइड किया था कि रोज शाम को हम आरती करेंगे और सब करेंगे. वो इतनी डिफिकल्टी में she used to come there, और मतलब I can never forget, वो छोटी सी चीज में उसको इतनी खुशी होती थी. And I think this is what she's talking about, कि जियो, ये जो पल है इसको जियो. And you have done it, Ravneet.
मतलब
So proud of you.
मुझे कभी आया नहीं है. गिव अप मुझे बोलोगे आपकी लीक नहीं करना, तो वो करना ही है फिर तो. And इसमें पल्लवी को तो मैं स्पेशल मेंशन करूंगी, because Pallavi is one girl and then there was Namita. I used to like literally hang on their hands and I was so fat at that time. इतना तो
Deepti as well. Deepti was very close to you right from the beginning.
was there. Everybody. So उसमें ऐसा होता था कि जो भी अवेलेबल है, they used to give me a hand. और I was so chubby. And with my weight so heavy, they used to take me to bus or whatever I said. They always cooperated. You all were there. So one problem with me was that I wanted to do everything. Be it riding a bicycle, be it going for picnics, be it going to your home. I wanted to do everything. And you all supported. कि चलो आ जाओ, फिर तो जो होगा देखेंगे. So that was a good teamwork. We're talking about victim mentality here. So I think that's a big matter we have to take care. Why me to होना ही नहीं चाहिए, because that is a big obstacle. Shall we resume further? Jaya?
Yes, please carry on, Ravneet.
So now, what to do? करें क्या for getting alternatives in life when you're stuck? First, as I gave the example also, unconventional approach. जो एक तरीके से होती है चीज है. If you are not able to follow the conventional path, take a new path. Make your own path. Find your own way, but do it somehow. So I'll tell you a story here. Actually, what happens now? I have physical limitations, so my fingers don't work that well. I'm not able to open the lids. I'm not able to open the drawers of my house. So in Punjabis, we wear a kada. If you all remember, you must have seen it, that kada is worn by all the Punjabis. So I wear this kada. It is all bent. It is not round. Can you see it on the screen? So this kada is all bent. Why? Because I use it for opening the lids. I use it for opening the knobs, opening the drawers. And it's my tool. It doesn't symbolize a religion only, but it's my tool. So that is an unconventional approach. Finding your own path, thinking out of the box. Now, how do we develop it? That is just by exposing to diverse regions of life. When you meet new people, when you observe how people are managing, and also by looking at people who are worse affected than you in any situation, be it financial, be it physical, any state. When you look at the people, look at the survivors, you meet them, you talk to them, you read their stories, you start thinking unconventionally. So keep the goal in mind, not the path. It's not how you're doing it. It's just that you're doing it. That's important. And you're reaching your path. Second major thing, don't give up on your goal. There's another story here. I was in Kashpur till 10th. And our lab was downstairs. And our classes were upstairs. And my friends have seen me that during rainy season, I used to sit and climb the stairs. And by the time I would reach the class, my dress will be fully soiled. And everybody would walk past me and I'll be covered in mud. And that is how I would reach my class and sit there. And due to this, a lot of struggle came. When my hands got affected. I could not do practicals. I wanted to be a doctor, but I could not do practicals. So I had to change the subject. And in Dashpur, there was no commerce or no other option. Only science was there. So just because I could not do practicals, I had to change my school. I have to leave my friends. And Dashpur was the only English medium school at that time. There was St. Thomas, but class 11th was not there. So I was shifted to a school which was Hindi medium. It was a big setback because I was losing the quality of education there. But when this happened, it was a big setback. So when it happened, then the question came, what to do next? Just crying for it, just being depressed won't help. What? So I thought that, okay, if I didn't get the best place, I will do the best there. So I tried my best to be a good student, and I participated in every activity, be it art, be it speech, be it singing, be it card making, drawing, painting, whatever. So whatever was there, I was one participant fixed. So that is an attitude where if something has happened, you cannot change the course of it. You can be the best there and you can do your best. Ultimate goal is what? Become your best version. So, and from that school also I got very good friends. So I got one more lesson of life, that when one door closes, another opens. And when you do your best, ultimately you are rewarded well. Life is, so generous. It rewards you with open hands if you have the right attitude. The second thing that you have to do for finding alternative is self-monitoring. Monitor your thoughts. If you're always focusing on closed doors, if you're always focusing on things that you cannot do, when I was told that I have this disease, which is going to progress, and I don't know where it is going to end. So that day I decided one thing. It's like, by God's grace, I got such a family also. We would all sit together and discuss things. So one thing was decided. This disease is progressing. I have to progress faster than it. My progress should be faster than the progress of the disorder. So that whatever life is going to take away, I will already achieve it. So there will not be any loss. I'll at least have the satisfaction of doing my best. So mind your mind games. Our mind is a big player and it will trap you. Because what do we want? We want a relaxed life. We want a comfortable life. Nobody wants to do hard work. So what we do is, when a door is closed, we start criticizing either the situation or our fate or the destiny or God or somebody. And then we pacify ourselves. You have done your best. This is all due to this. This is all due to that. So our mind is always going to convince you that it's not your mistake. Mind is always going to convince you, leave it. Take the way which is easier. Take the path which is easier. So you have to monitor your self-talk. You have to watch what games your mind is playing with you. Next thing that we can do for finding alternatives, we have already discussed. Build up your knowledge. Another story here. When I completed my MBA from Indore, I was a fair student, and when I completed MBA, it was from Institute of Management Studies, Indore. So we had this campus selection, and I was quite upbeat about it. That okay, finally it's time to be self-reliant, financially stable, get a job, and get settled down. This is 2000 year 2000. So that was a time when there was no talk about disability rights, reservations, special consideration, inclusion, accessibility. It was a different world. So I was the only student in my college. And at that time, when the campus placement was taking place, I used to use a walker to walk, and walking was difficult. And I used to get tired, and I used to just, gasp while walking. So when I entered the interview room, there was an interviewer's board was there. 3-4 people were sitting. I reached and I was gasping. Like I could not breathe. They looked at me, full red face, sweating, gasping. They asked me to take a seat. It took 5 minutes to settle down. I took water, and the result of interview was clear even before it began. It was clear what is the result, because a person who is taking so much of time to reach a room, how is that person going to walk every day to office, reach on time, go one place to another, work without an accessible environment, without an inclusive workplace? How can that person perform up to the mark? So interview began. It was a formality. I knew the result. And when I came out, I broke down. It was really a big setback, because I was expecting a lot from myself. I thought I had done well. I performed well. I scored fair enough. I deserved a place in that company. I deserved a place. I deserved the job. So I broke down. And the bigger question was that even after getting such a degree, if I can't get a job, then what is the use of this education? My world closed. Life end. Dead end. There's nothing left. So what do I do? My elder brother, he also studied in the same college. So I came back home and I sat down and I started telling the whole story to my family. And they told me one thing, that don't think that your education has got wasted. Don't think that your degree is a waste. You have earned knowledge, and that knowledge is going to come of use some way, somehow, someday. Just keep doing your best and we'll see what to do. So I was out of job for a couple of months, and during that period, I started studying more. I did a course and earned more knowledge, and then decided to start my own institute. I started teaching English language, especially to women and children. Because from my life, I've learned that your character is built up at an early age. And the way a child sees himself or herself through the eyes of the teachers, through the eyes of his peers, his co-students, his friends, through the eyes of his parents, that is what the person is going to become in future. So the entire generation, the entire world is there at the foundation level. Aadharshila. So Aadharshila, you all have the power to create the future. A future that is self-confident, self-reliant, positive, and who is not ready to give up. So you have that power. One more obstacle came before starting this institute. When I changed my school, I could not find an institution where I could study in English medium. So during my graduation, I was in a Hindi medium school. During my 10th and 11th and 12th, I was in a Hindi medium school. So when I got admission in MBA, I was in a college which was having a ranking in the country. And there were diverse students from different top schools of the country, and all of them were so fluent with their English. And I would just open my mouth and look at them, that goodness, how can they speak such fluently? How can they speak English like that? And I would just wonder. I could not give any presentations. So I used to just look at them and repeat what they were telling in my mind. So I decided to study the language at that time. So it took me 2 years, several things tried, tested, and I learned the language. So when I got rejected for this job, finally decided to start my own institute of English language, because I understood teaching gives you the power to create a generation, a stream, a leak which is strong, and I wanted to do it. I was blessed to have this family, and I wanted to extend it to several other families. So the journey began. We started strengthening yourself, creating your support system is very important to win this war against the obstacles and dead ends. What is the support system? Two are there. One is your internal support system and one is external. External support system, your family, your social circle, your friends. That is your external support system. If you keep right people around you, your peers, if you are, smart enough to judge what is helping you grow and what is bringing you down. If you create a support system where you are supported in the right way, you're guided in the right way, you're halfway through. Second is your internal support system, where you learn that after every fall, what brings you up. It's not that I don't fall. It's not that I don't cry. Till date, there are moments when a new thing comes up. There are some situations when even I collapse. But then, falling is not a problem. Not getting up is a problem. So when you know where to find that strength, where you can just hold that and rise back up, that is your internal support system that you need to create. And what is that? It can be through your mental strength. You can indulge yourself into any kind of routine, be it a fitness regime, yoga, whatever you are interested in, be it a connection with some sort of motivational speakers, where every day you'll get a dose of positivity, be it meditation, be it reading books, be it talking to your mother, what I do very often. So she's my support system. Talking to friends, where you get the energy. What is your internal support system? You need to create that, and you need to define it clearly, because when that jolt comes, when you are hit so hard, you actually lose the right thinking. You lose the vision. You are totally confused which way to go. So whatever your support system is, it has to be identified clearly. You should know where to go back. Who has your back, where to fall. And fall there and then rise back up. So create your support system, very important. One more thing, like if you're not able to find alternatives and think differently, there can be a reason that maybe you have too many support systems. This happened with me. Until my marriage, I was into a family which was extremely supportive. So I didn't have to worry much how to take care of things around me. Everything was readily available. So I didn't even know how to, buy vegetables. Nothing. I had no idea. What is this 250 grams, 500 grams, ये कितना होता है? आप कैसे life चलाते हो after marriage? I had absolutely no idea. So because I had the support system. So when I got married, I came to Bhopal, and it was just me and my husband. He went for job, and he told me, I'll come back for lunch. Make sure you keep it ready. I had no idea what to do, how to do it. So that is the time I started learning. So when you don't have your support system, when you are alone in a mess, you will cry. I also did. You will feel lost. I also felt so. You will contact people who can help you. I did that. And you'll start thinking. You'll start finding ways. So this is what is important, to go solo. At times, you need to go solo. You have to challenge your limits. And then only you will learn the skill to find alternatives. So periodically, please go solo. Certain things you do on your own. Take responsibility. If you don't know how to handle situations at work, put yourself in it. Find the areas where you really feel helpless. Put yourself into it. If you feel traveling is a challenge for you, like I travel solo. And the first trip I took alone was only because I wanted to test myself. I wanted to push my boundaries. So challenge yourself. There is My uncle once said one thing, that the person who takes away your responsibility, a person who relieves you from your responsibility, is your biggest enemy, because he is making you dependent. He's taking away your ability to handle situations. So, okay, take help, but periodically go solo and push your limits. Try doing things on your own. And that is when you will throw yourself in turbulence, in those waves, you will finally learn how to use your sailboat. Because God has given a sailboat to all of us. We just need to take it up, throw ourselves, and learn how to sail solo. Very quickly coming to the conclusions. Move from why to what. From why me, what best I can do. Every situation we fall into, 3 questions are genuine. First, what is the problem? Address it. If you don't know your problem, you cannot handle it. Like in my case, Shark married tooth. What is this? We didn't know until Google uncle came and helped us. So first time when internet came, the first word I googled was Shark married tooth. I wanted to know everything about it. So when you fight a battle, if you know your enemy, then only you can win the fight. So first, understand what is the problem. What is its impact? That means what things are getting hindered due to this problem. Then, what best options do I have? What can I do? So, if you understand your limitation, if you understand the problems, you start finding the alternatives. Ask yourself, what best can I do? Let's take one example, realistic example. If you feel that you always panic when something goes wrong, like hypothetical situation, a student failed in the exam, panic situation from the family, from teachers, everywhere. Why do we panic? Because we feel now nothing is going to happen. So there is, what are the areas why this challenge is coming? Can you see the screen, everyone? Jaya? Screen is visible? Strategic thinking?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So strategic thinking is what? Understand the challenge. What is the challenge? The child failed? We are panicking. What are the areas why we feel like this? Because we don't know what are our options. If the child failed, we don't know the reasons and our options. We feel his world is closed. His life is ended. Because we cannot think beyond grades. We cannot think beyond academic excellence. So our knowledge is limited. So what do? We need to broaden our horizon. Like that, if we are always thinking pessimistically, if we are always lethargic, what are the areas? Attitudinal barriers. Our attitude is not in the right place. So what do we need to do? We need to put ourselves into motivational situations where we learn every day. I'll tell you one thing here. I used to believe once that all these motivational speeches, these talks, these books, they impact you, but that's not a long-lasting impact. It motivates you for an hour. The moment you are out of this room, you will be feeling great, but then impact will be gone. And after 2 days, if a situation will come, you will panic again. So what is the use of this talk? It is not going to help you. So what we need to do in that case, to change our attitude permanently, we need to keep ourselves into this environment for a long term, continuously, repeatedly. As you do, you have these Aadharshila talks continuously. Because when you are continuously in that environment, gradually your subconscious mind changes. Your vision changes. Your attitude changes. So when a person wants to change, the key is continuous efforts. You won't change in a day. You won't change in a week. Not even in a month. But maybe in a couple of months. So you need to keep yourself in this loop of positivity, motivation, in the same loop continuously. So set yourself a fixed time that okay, every Saturday, every morning, every evening, whatever time, I will listen to this. Keep that loop, and your subconscious mind will be programmed. Before sleep, once after you wake up, train yourself. I lack this. I lack so many things. And the only uh, process that helped me come to this level is continuous efforts. So once you do that, your subconscious mind is programmed. At last, I would like to wrap up with some recommendations and concluding thoughts. I will say, first thing, accept yourself with your limitations, with your qualities, with whatever you have. But do not accept defeat. Accept the limitations, do not accept the defeat. Accept the challenges, do not give up on your goals. Once you know that this is what I have to do, this is my goal, definitely if you are not compromising on it, you will find a way to reach it. Think creatively, out of box, possibilities. It's a world of Google and so many things we see every day. So you can, go through so many options. Then third, learn. Keep adding to your knowledge. Learn every day. So when you learn, knowledge is power. Keep your inspiration close. Whoever inspires you, whatever motivates you, keep it close. And keep visiting that person. Keep visiting yourself if that is you who motivates yourself. If you write, keep visiting. Keep your inspiration close at a place where you can see it every day. And a very, very important thing, which is the key of our existence, leave an impact. Life comes to a full circle only when we give back what we have received, when we give back better than what we have received. So that is extremely important. Leave an impact. If you have been ill-treated, leave with better treatments. If you have been down and betrayed, leave with support system so that nobody else has to suffer. So leave this world a better place. Give what you have not received. Give more than what have you received. Give this world as a better place. So thank you everyone for being here, for being my friends, for coming here, supporting me throughout my journey, seeing me grow, helping me grow, and being a support system in my journey. Thank you. Over to you, Jay.
I'm really zapped and tongue-tied. Can just imagine what all you must have gone through and how your level of confidence and the zeal always was higher than the level fear could take. The dreams, I could always see in that little girl also in her eyes, full of dreams.
We are Dashpurians.
Yes, right. And I'm so glad to see that the dreams you carried in your eyes, they were alive all through the challenges that you have faced. We all really cannot even empathize what it could have been. But what I can see is still the same brightness in your eyes today. Everything that you have said hits here because we know it is authentic. It is something that you have really lived. These are your words. This is not Google.
This is not Google.
Yes, of course. And before I say anything, I would like the participants to speak up. I also invite my friends who have all studied with Ravneet, studied with me, also to please speak up.
I would also like some questions, like if
Yes.
you want to ask.
Right. So any thoughts, any questions, queries, please feel free to unmute yourselves and speak.
Hi, Puja.
Hello. You can call me
Hi
Ramneet.
Jaya.
Kapil, I'm Ramneet for all of you.
Thanks. पर अभी जो नाम डिस्प्ले
Hi,
डिस्प्ले हो रहा है वो पूजा हो रहा है.
हाँ पर मैं अंदर से रवनीत हूँ.
वो नेताजी है ना, बहुत डिप्लोमेटिक है, सोच समझ के बोलना पड़ता है कैसे प्रोटोकॉल.
नहीं तो जो स्पीच सुन रहा था वो काफी चीजें मैं उसमें रिकॉल करने की कोशिश कर रहा था. लाइफ में क्या क्या इंसिडेंट होते हैं, कैसे हुआ, बचपन में क्या हुआ, पर मुझे नहीं लगता कि हम लोग कभी उस फेस को सोच पाए या उस चीज को समझ पाए जो अभी रवनीत ने हम लोगों को जिस में
हेलो.
कितनी लाइफ में क्या छोटी आ रही है, क्या दिक्कतें आ रही है, पर जब बात सुना तो बाकी में आपका पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट होना चाहिए, पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग होना चाहिए और एक गुड अप्रोच होना चाहिए. बाकी सब चीज उसके ऊपर कम है. सो थैंक्स वेरी मच रवनीत फॉर द वंडरफुल मोटिवेशनल स्पीच यू हैव प्रोवाइडेड टू अस. वेरी वेरी थैंक्स. हेड्स अप टू यू.
Thank you so much, Kapil. तुम लोगों ने
You are
बचपन से वो
exceptional
स्कूल
and outstanding.
जया, हाँ,
हर
one more
रेस
thing I would like.
जीती है तुमने लाइफ की. In spite of all obstacles and difficulties, you have shown to the world that when determination is there, when hard work is there, जब पूरा तुम्हारा विल पावर है, तुमने दुनिया को दिखाया कि कैसे जीता जाती है हर रेस.
Thank you, Vishal. Are there any questions from Aadharshilas? Anything you would like to, any situation in life where you felt stuck up, you want to know how to come out of it? I'll tell you one situation. When I wanted to become a mother, and it was told that with my situation, I should not take this risk because my progressive disorder made my body so weak that whenever I walk, I would fall. You all have seen me falling like that. So I would fall very strongly, and it was a big risk, not just to me, but also the baby. So all the doctors told me, don't take this chance. Okay. I could have easily adopted it. It's a very good thing that adoption definitely is something we should do and consider. But I wanted to do it myself because if I don't set an example, no person with disability would want to try this, would want to become a mother. They will think that no, this is something they can't do. So with a lot of help from CMT organization UK and Canada, we took all the documents from the doctors there. We understood the process, how they were having successful deliveries with women with Charcot-Marie-Tooth. So we did a full study and we made a program to help me pass through the 9-month tenure successfully without any problems. So we did it like a planned project, and successfully in 2005, my son was born. That was the happiest moment for me, not just because I became a mother, but because we broke a barrier. We broke this mindset of the doctors and the people that, in this situation, you cannot take a chance. Sometimes you have to take a chance. And after me, there is one more lady from IIM Ahmedabad, Nishta Thakre, with the same disability that I have, Charcot-Marie-Tooth. She contacted me because she read my story somewhere. She contacted me. She wanted to be a mother. I sent her all my medical documents. She went through the same process and she has a daughter now. So that is your impact when you take a chance.
Any questions from our participants? Questions? Thoughts?
Thank you, Sunanda. Everybody, thank you for your comments.
Good evening, Puja. This is Sunanda from GPS Varanasi. I really love your GROW acronym. It's a wonderful thing, and it definitely gave us strength, because what we think we are totally normal, but because of some छोटी-छोटी problems को लेके ना every time we think अरे ये बहुत बड़ा issue हो गया, अरे इसकी वजह से ये तो नहीं कर पाएंगे. And there are so many things happen every day, but you proved, and that's great. The incident that you, not incident, it's a big, something that you tried to took the risk, but yes, you proved that life is not led by body but mind, and this is really wonderful. So the very best, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy that I joined today, and I got a lot of strength from you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to add one more thing. Being Dr. Jaya there, I'm so sure that Jaya is bringing this legacy to the place where she is, because this starts from school. They start from that place. One more thing, like how much help is justified. This is a very crucial point. If you have a person with special needs in your school, or if you find someone struggling, how much help is justified? So I got help, but it was not too much. That is why I did not become dependent. I became self-reliant. So there is a thin margin in making someone dependent and self-reliant. So following that is very important.
I think there is a lot to take away as educators today, as most of our attendees are teachers. From all the stories that Ravneet has shared with us, we all could see how school environment, when she spoke about bullying being a very common thing that children experience, especially the ones with special needs, how that can be taken care of in schools and how important it is to take care of it in the schools. She also mentioned about the challenges she faced when she had to travel from one floor to another without any such support system where she could easily move. It talks about how the infrastructure is to be taken care of so that it is accessible. Accessibility is one very important thing. So from inclusivity, how we create that environment together as a team of teachers, students, parents, the leaders, how we create that environment where everyone feels equally accepted, equally respected, and equally valued, despite differences in how we look, how we think, all kinds of mental, physical, emotional, psychological, despite all these differences, how we all are equal in the school environment. And it's not about actually equality, giving equal treatment. It is also about giving what everyone needs. It might be lesser for someone, it might be more for someone in one dimension, and vice versa in another dimension. So to have that understanding, it's not about equal, because everybody might not need equal of everything. So being very conscious as teachers of something like that, teachers have to be so creative to make inclusivity possible. Like she spoke about how she was given a role which made her feel so proud to be on that stage and feel that festivity of the annual function just by being there on the stage. It just took a little innovative approach. I'm sure there are many more other ways it could be done. So let us keep our thinking caps on, wear the creative caps on when we are stuck in difficult situations. She also spoke about how her mother brought a reformation in thinking before she did it so bravely before the family, before the relatives. It's not so easy. And we're talking about one generation before, when all of us were teenagers. In fact, were very, very little. I think even before teenage. What you mentioned was before the teenage. It was not that easy. And I've seen your mother. Hats off to Auntie Ji.
That's right.
So it's not just about the Ravneet's mother. It's about every woman. And as every teacher, how can we stand for the child? How can we stand up for the child and everybody's rights? Can we feel that with our heart? Can we really bring reformations, or are we only going to talk about Renaissance and social reformers in grade 8 history? Can we really bring that thought process here, that reform is needed and not somewhere in some village in some less advanced place? It's right here in our classrooms, everywhere, every single family. The growth mindset, how every child will progress. She spoke about how she took part in everything, and that guys unstoppable energy. It's because she focused on the complete personality development, and thanks to those schools which provided it. Can we be those teachers? Can we be those schools who provide all those opportunities for children to explore all their potential? And it's not just to come first, second, or third. It's all about trying out everything. It gives you confidence. It gives you the chance to try pushing your boundaries. All that she could do in life is because of the strength to push her boundaries, and those little experiences have contributed to her confidence that yes, I can try pushing my boundaries, and I win when I push my boundaries. Dar ke aage jeet hai. She's a true example of that.
And don't give up on your dreams. Don't compromise. Take a detour, but reach where you deserve to be.
I have no words, Ramit, honestly, and it rarely happens.
Lakshmi wants to ask something.
Yes, please feel free to ask and speak. Hi, Lakshmi.
Good evening, Jaya. Thank you so much for inviting
Lakshmi
me every week.
is a trustee of a group of schools.
Okay, hello.
And a very good friend of mine.
Yeah. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I love you, Puja. You are so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
And I was like, see, even at this age, with everything possible, people around us stop us from taking solo trips. And, they have 101 reasons to stop us from going to such a solo trip. I just wanted to know how you decided on it and what were the challenges you faced.
The story.
And how did you convince everyone around?
Well, I come from a family which is conservative a little bit when it comes for the girls to take solo trips. But I got married to a person who is very liberal. So my husband, Biju, I would love to introduce him. He's not there right now. So he's a person who always wants me to take challenges. So he told me that once I told that, why don't I see anybody traveling alone on a wheelchair? And whenever we would travel together, there would be so much of struggle, even when we two were there. So I just thought that somebody has to change the mindset, bring up a system and awareness where even, lone travelers on wheelchairs or with any other disability are respected and accommodated equally. Until it's an hen and egg situation. Why the system is not changing? Persons with disability are not making a presence in the society. So when we ask for a change, the administration tells us, where are the people? If I say make a ramp here, यहाँ तो कोई आता ही नहीं है chair में. Madam ramp बना के करते हैं. Yes.
Now he's going to take this picture only there, but by the new one, he has
Miss Mangla Mane, please keep yourself on mute. Miss Mangla. Yeah, thank you.
So there were so many situations when I went and asked for ramps or some kind of assistive, inclusive devices. So everywhere the same answer was there. कोई आता ही नहीं है तो क्या करना है? Washrooms, if I tell you, it's according to PW Act, it's compulsory for all public places to have disabled friendly washrooms. Now what do they do in those washrooms? They stuff all their cleaning materials, their wipers and their buckets and everything. It's used as a storeroom. So wherever you go to airports, you go to buildings, anywhere, it is used as a storehouse. The disabled washrooms are always packed. The reason, when we call and when we ask them, they say, यहाँ तो कोई आता ही नहीं है, खाली पड़ा है. So the problem here is hen and egg situation. पहले क्या करें? So until and unless we come out and we make a presence, difference will not be felt and requirement will not be understood. So I understood I have to start making a presence. So I started going out everywhere, and that too alone. Because if there is somebody with me, every work will be done by them. Because nobody will come and extend help. Or I will be using my family help. So when I traveled alone, They understood what are my requirements, where changes should be made. So there are so many pieces through my organization, NGO. We have constructed ramps in banks. We always meet the authorities, make them aware about the requirements. We talk about lifts in schools, colleges, we do sensitization programs. So until and unless we will come out, it will not happen. So that is how solo trip started. So during the first solo trip, even I learned so many things about my needs. What kind of wheelchair I have to take, how much weight it has, is it folding or not? How can I train them how to fold the wheelchair? Because my voice is affected. So I cannot speak loudly at public places. How will I manage it? So when you go solo, at times, you push your limits. You learn new things. You create awareness in the people also, among them also. So that is how the trip started. And Lakshmi ji, as you asked me how I managed, I will tell you how I managed. I first time failed. I second time struggled. I third time managed. This is how the story was. So this is the story of change. Fail, struggle, win. So first you do it, then you learn, and then you excel.
It's truly inspiring, and I'm sure everybody after listening to this talk will definitely push their limits, because I feel ashamed for not doing a lot of things.
I will tell you, the first time you will take your solo trip, you come back, you'll be a different person. The change in my life came from one decision of my brother. Our family was in Mandsaur. He wanted me to take higher studies, higher education at Indore. The question was, where is she going to live? He said, hostel. And my family, my parents also, they were like, no, she's a girl, she is dependent, she is not going to go in a hostel. So even my parents at that time were a bit hesitant. But he said, she will go and she will manage. And
I think Bhaiya is here in the call, right? Manbir Bhaiya. Manbir Nara?
Manbir is my mom.
Oh, sorry. I think I saw one more name. I thought it's Bhaiya.
Sarthika Nara.
Sarthika Nara is your bhabhi. Okay. Auntie ji is here.
Mummy is here.
My God. Pranam, Auntie ji. How are you?
Mama, you can have your video on.
It's such a long time.
Can you hear us, Mama?
She has been so loving. Always with a smile. I remember I used to visit Puja's, Ravneet's home so frequently. I remember watching Love 86 with you, watching a few movies on the VCR. You remember that?
We grew up together.
Yeah. And Auntie was so loving, would always take care. Kya khana hai, kya nahi. Namaste, Auntie ji. Pranam. Kaise aap? आज आपसे भी कुछ सीखते हैं, आपको सुनना बहुत जरूरी है.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है सब बच्चों को एक साथ देख के ना. इतने सालों के बाद.
सब याद है आपको? विरक्ता, कपिल, विशाल.
हाँ वही तो, इतने सालों के बाद सबको एक साथ देख के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
मैं याद हूँ आपको, जया.
बिल्कुल.
बोले नहीं सकते.
और शायद शैतानी में मैं सबसे ऊपर था, कपिल.
हाँ हाँ सब.
इसीलिए नेताजी बनाए.
तो उस टाइम पर मम्मी को भी डर लगा था ये हॉस्टल कैसे जाएगी, पर वो स्टेप जो लिया ना, that brought a big change.
Wow. I think we should have had your Bhaiya here, because I can see that he was behind you at all times. He was your support. We could see the kind of affection he had for you. Even at that age, we could see it. Is he here?
Is he here? He's a super busy person.
भैया
भैया है?
भैया आप स्टेयर से कनेक्ट होने के लिए बोलती हूँ, कनेक्ट होने के लिए बोलती हूँ.
जय दिया past your time.
और मैं आपके साथ वीडियो शेयर करूंगी, आप वो दिखाइएगा प्लीज भैया को भी. Lakshmi, that was a wonderful question. Thank you for asking that question.
Thank you. So many questions are there, but then I'm sure we will connect, and then through you, I will have more opportunities to connect with Puja. Puja, I want you to address my students so that, you know, they get inspired and they also understand what pushing their limits means. They are not even doing 1% of what they are capable of. And I'm sure after listening to you, they will start, you know, doing the best they can do. Yeah, so we'll connect and we'll have to take this.
Sure, we'll do that.
Thank you so
Yes,
much. I can't thank you enough. I'm so happy. I'm so sorry I can't keep my video on.
It's okay, Lakshmi.
But then
take care. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing to this talk.
Jay, you are a live example of how you can cooperate, you know, your friends with special needs. This also is something children of today need to understand.
Very well said by our counselor, Sir Mr. Achal. He has made a mantra from what you have spoken. Failed, struggled, and managed.
Yes, Achalji.
We remember these as the 3 steps. I think there is always hope. Even if we fail, there is a hope. Next time after struggle, we are going to manage it. This is what children need to know.
That's right.
Today's youth who so easily gives up when they don't get into NEET and IIT, I think they just need to remember this. And another thing which you said is life is so limited. Live every single day as if it's your last. Jiyo to har pal aise jiyo jaise ki aakhri hai. So life is beautiful. You cannot just give up if you don't get a dream job, or dream friend, or dream life. There is much more to it.
Yes,
नमस्ते भैया, how are you? कैसे आप? बस ठीक है, आपने शायद पहचाना नहीं होगा, पर हमें बहुत खुशी हो रही है आपको देखकर।
भैया, जय शमी।
जी?
जय शमी।
हाँ, ओके,
क्या लेते थे?
पंजाब भवन।
ये सारे 10-15 फ्रेंड्स हैं।
सरकारी बाजार।
ओके। तो आप एक सभी लोग मिलके एक गेट टुगेदर रखिए रियूनियन का मंदसौर में।
बिल्कुल।
हाँ,
बहुत टाइम से पेंडिंग है।
मैंने बोला था।
थैंक यू।
हमारा तो हो गया, हम लोगों ने कर लिया ऑलरेडी।
आप हमारे सीनियर है ना, हम तक पहुंचे टाइम लगेगा।
भैया, मैं इनको बता रही थी कैसे आपका वो जो डिसीजन था कि मैं इंदौर में रहकर और हॉस्टल में रहूं, और उस डिसीजन के कारण कैसे पूरी लाइफ में एक चेंज आया। सो यू हैव बीन अ पिलर ऑफ सपोर्ट ऑल द वे थ्रू, और उतना ही सपोर्ट किया जितना जरूरी था। एक और इंसिडेंस बताती हूँ जया। मुझे कार चलाना भैया ने सिखाया है, और विद दिस काइंड ऑफ फिजिकल कंडीशन उस टाइम पर तो अडैप्टिव व्हीकल्स नहीं होते थे। तो दिस इज 2002 आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट। तो जब कार आई थी तब हमको नहीं पता था कि उसमें कैसे एडॉप्टेशंस करने हैं। नई गाड़ी खरीद के लाए, भैया ने मुझे ड्राइव पे लेके गए, और इंदौर के बिजी चौराहे पे बोलते चलाएगी, तो मैंने बोला चलाऊं, बैठा। तो वो शिफ्ट हुए और उन्होंने मुझे ड्राइविंग सीट दी, एंड ही टुक केयर ऑफ ब्रेक एंड ऑल, बट उन्होंने कहा चला ले, एंड आई वाज लाइक चला लो। सो दैट कॉन्फिडेंस, यू नो। और उसके बाद जब मैं पार्क कर रही थी, घर में आते ही आई हिट द कार एंड उसका लाइट वाइट सब टूट गया, द न्यू कार, एंड ही डिडंट इवन ब्लिंक एन आई। चल चलता है, चलाया ना। सो ही इज द वन who pushed me to all this.
वाह, क्या बात है, ये भाई करता है।
एक्चुअली कभी हमने हमारी फैमिली में ना ऐसा सोचा ही नहीं कि देयर इज सम डिसेबिलिटी सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग, ऐसा कुछ है हमारे यहाँ, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं घर पे। तो हम लोग तो बिल्कुल वी टेक इट वेरी नॉर्मल, एंड इसका तो केस ऐसा हो गया कि हम लोग उसमें आ गए कि इसको इतने सारे अवार्ड मिल गए, हम लोगों का क्या होगा। तो ये हमारे घर में ये ऊपर आती है, हम पीछे आते हैं। तो हम लोग जो है ना इससे डिप्रेस्ड रहते हैं। तो ये ऊपर रहती है।
एक्चुअली शी इज मेकिंग अस फील ऑल दैट।
ऐसा भी है क्या?
तो जहाँ भी जाओ तो क्या होता है कि फैमिली तो हमारी साथ में जाती है, फोकस सारा इस पे आ जाता है। हम लोग
भैया आप तो खाली डिप्रेस्ड हो, हम तो पूरे कंप्रेस्ड हो गए, ऐसा लग रहा है।
बट रियली छोटी छोटी बातों से रवनीत बहुत सारी चीजें मतलब लाइक फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड और अभी तक देख रहे हैं कि भैया ने ड्राइविंग ऐसे सिखा दिया, तो तुमने जो बचपन में प्ले से स्टार्ट करके स्टेज पे कहाँ तक पहुंच गए, मतलब छोटी छोटी सी बातें बट रियली इंस्पिरेशन।
इम्पैक्ट बहुत बड़ा होता है।
हाँ वही छोटी छोटी बातें हैं।
Sonal ji had raised hand.
Even Amit is here. Amit Sharma.
Amit is sitting quietly.
Amit, how can you be quiet, Amit? Come on, switch on the camera and speak up.
नहीं मेरा एक और कॉल चल रहा है जया, तो मैं I'm doing a parallel pursuings right now.
You leave everybody. Let's keep your camera on here.
No, that's why I came down and I listened to Puja. I mean, I keep on talking to her every once in otherwise whenever I'm in Bhopal. Never got a chance to meet her, but I think every time I speak her and I tell her, like, you know, you're a rock star, the rock star from our school. I mean, some of the ladies who are really making us proud, like, you know, one is Jaya, obviously, you know, Jaya, keep on following your posts. Another one, like, you know, another humanitarian that has come in our group, which is Mustafa, and then Kapil doing so great out there.
Yes.
So all of us, you know, I feel so proud of all our Dashpurians, and this feels like, you know, sort of a mini reunion. And as Auntie Ji was suggesting, यार कुछ करना चाहिए हम लोगों को भी. But then, speaking of Puja, I think she is full of. Alright, चल ना Ravneet. But speaking about Ravneet, I think she's always full of energy. Every time you talk to her, you get to, you know, get to know new things. I mean, full of energy, and I think we together crack lots of jokes with each other. We share a special bonding with each other. And to me, I think she's an inspiration. Every time, as like Kapil was saying, like, and as Bhaiya was saying, कि जब भी इसके साथ होते हैं, ये होती है ना, तो यही होती है. आप सब पीछे होते हो.
कुछ तो मुझे भी नहीं, सब तुम्हें लोग ले लो.
And then there's so much to learn.
नहीं, हमें कुछ नहीं मिल रहा, सब तुम्हें ही मिल रहा है. All the spotlight.
No,
and you deserve it.
And she deserves it, actually. She deserves it. Like, you know, I mean, we recall we used to be there with her. I mean, there was Hemlata who used to take care of her. There was you, Dipti, everybody taking care of her. And then now she has come such a long way. From a girl in school, you know, with some special abilities, wherein she needed help from everybody, to a woman, you know, I mean, a businesswoman and an entrepreneur, a teacher, I think, what all not. Like, and she's running an NGO. So, and I mean, especially she told she's a mother now, right? And the story behind it, nobody knew that. I mean, this is a new thing for me as well, that I got to hear today. So I think that's why I'm saying, like, you know, there's so many things about her. Every time you speak to her, you get to know certain new things, certain new struggles, and
so many layers. So many layers,
and then you feel more compressed, as Kapil was saying. But then I think that's what I mean. That's why I say, like, you know, she's a rock star.
The best thing that you all did was you all accepted me so normally. I never felt there was anything different.
हमारी हिम्मत तेरे को एक्सेप्ट ना करते हम लोग.
और पंगा लेगा रवनीत से.
और मैं तो बेंच में था. मैं तो एक ही बेंच पे था, मरना था मुझे.
Amit,
she makes all.
Amit, listen.
Yeah. हाँ बोल.
हाँ, ये कैमरा ऑन नहीं किया ना, इसलिए तुम्हारे लिए एक पनिशमेंट है. You have to now plan for at least a virtual meeting like this. कम से कम ऐसे ही मिले क्लास. वो फटाफट बनाओ, लिंक बनाओ, डेट डिसाइड करो. Everybody is going to be there.
Now Sunanda ji has raised hand.
Yes, Miss Sunanda.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Thanks, Amit.
Thank you so much for giving me another opportunity to speak up. You know, I was going to leave, but you know, right now when people started talking, it reminded me my friends, and I'm thinking that, oh, I need to call my friends. What are they doing? There are many those are not there in Varanasi. They're out. No, one thing that, and secondly, this workshop, like it was not like a workshop that we have been attending. You know, it was not a formal one. But this informality actually taught us many things today. And what was that? See, you people were talking about your childhood days. It means the childhood days are so very important for a child. And being an educator, now this is my responsibility to instill this in my children, see, acceptance. You need to accept the person, the person and the situation as they are. And this is the big challenge for us, for educators. So you people, like you friends, and she's blessed, Puja, that they're wonderful friends, and you are still, now you're having that, you're able to, you people are closely, you're sharing a close bond. And this actually we need to instill in our children, in our, young minds. So this is really a wonderful lesson that this might take away. I'll try, because I'm in a middle school. I'm a middle school educator, and that, that period is a period wherein children suffer a lot from identity crisis or confusion, self-esteem. There are so many things. And Puja was talking about this, strategic thinking, and I love that there. And I'll definitely be exploring the challenge areas and the methods you were talking about. It's wonderful. I actually want to know more about that, but we are actually now running short of time. But
I tell you, there's so many stories about her. I mean, you won't know this whole pandemic, 2 years wherein we all were locked down. Imagine this woman spending time alone with her son, because her husband was in Qatar for all the way. He got locked up there, and then this woman managed everything on her own in a city. How much panic it created for all of us, because khana kahan se layenge, sabji kahan se layenge. So there are layers to this woman. There are layers to this woman. We'll keep on peeling off every day, and something new will come up from her.
So it's a humble request, dear. Why don't you write a book? I must be writing, or you must have written. I haven't read, but you should write a book, so that we may go for that. Even you can write it on Amazon, and we can definitely read out.
I second Miss Sunanda.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much.
Jaya, this is going to be a biopic.
Yeah.
You can't limit the story to a book.
Well, book writing has already begun.
Wow.
This is really nice, and this should be done so that others get inspiration, and we'll definitely eagerly waiting there. So please, and
let me do a couple of things more.
Yeah. Please.
Yes.
This is really, really important. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Miss Sunanda.
Thank you, everyone, for the nice comments. Lovely comments here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravneet.
रवनीत एंड जया 4 लाइनें बोल के बात खत्म करेंगे। खुशियों से दोस्ती हो, मुस्कुराहट साथी बने। खुशियों से दोस्ती हो, मुस्कुराहट साथी बने। कामयाबी कदम चूमे, जिंदगी दासी।
क्या बात है कपिल, शुक्रिया।
Wow.
मास्टरी है कपिल की।
Thanks, Jaya, for arranging this, bringing us all together once again. And I think will we take down your suggestion and try and arrange something for all of us to connect.
Yes.
But then thanks for all the good work that you're doing, and thanks Puja for getting all those good thoughts and inspiring us once again all over.
Thanks for being here, Amit. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ravneet. Thank you for being in my life personally. Thank you for being an Aadharshila for Ramratna International School and all the educators across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you.
My love to you, my pranams to you, and my salute to you.
Bye-bye.
Keep inspiring.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait. Thanks to all my friends from Dashpur. Thank you.
Jaya.
Thanks,
Jaya.
in making.
And
Thanks,
thanks Ram. और ये बोलेंगे thanks Ram Ratan from bringing this Ratan close to us.
Yeah, I brought a Ratna back to us. Yes. Thank you, Vishal, Kapil, Alok, Amit, Virakta, Pallavi, and everyone who joined us today from Dashpur, from Mandsaur, and from various parts of the world. Thanks to everybody. And lots of love to my friends, my childhood friends. It was such a pleasure to meet you. Maza aa gaya aaj milke. See you. Jaldi milte hain, virtually.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.